Novel Navigator. Chapter 81, Mission Assigned. Ranked the 100th on the Earthly Dragon list, Fire Fairy was a solo powerhouse who had achieved the peak of fulfillment realm of Jindan. She is eccentric and has many enemies. She also excels at marksmanship and has a comprehension of raging fire. A half-year ago, by herself, she killed 5 opponents who had achieved the exceptional gold core realm at Sunset Ridge over the body of a spiritual beast. 2 months ago, she beat Mount, the former 100th expert on the list, and replaced him. The 99th on the list is Luoao. Jian Wushuang carefully read the introductions and combat abilities of every expert. The person who was 94th on the list was surprisingly the tyrant Sulai. Sulai, Jian Wushuang said with surprise. Yang Zixuan, Wang Yuan, and Suro beside him came closer. Sulai, a bad-tempered disciple of Dragon Palace, was known for his aggression and excellence at exceptional gold core realm, raging fire, and brutal fist position. He once fought against 13 gold core warriors, among which 8 achieved the exceptional gold core realm and killed 11 of them, including 7 of the 8. 2 survived and he only had a minor injury. What Jian Wushuang saw really shocked him. Sulai by himself could unexpectedly kill 11 of the 13 primordial gold core with only 2 surviving and escaping. It was no wonder that there was a saying that any powerhouse on the list is able to beat a large group of people of exceptional gold core realm. Sulai is really tough, said Yang Zixuan seriously. It made sense that Bai Cheng dare not fight him, said Wang Yuan. Jian Wushuang kept reading. The list revealed all the names of powerhouses and their achievements. Jian Wushuang soon read the top 5. The person who ranked the 5th was Barbarian King Qing Kang, a disciple of Dragon Palace, who achieved the peak of exceptional gold core realm. The 4th was Fen Yushan, who belonged to Gladiator Arena, who achieved the peak of exceptional gold core realm. The 3rd was Mu Yingying, a member of the Mu clan, who achieved the peak of exceptional gold core realm. The 2nd was Bai Liken, a disciple of Dragon Palace, who achieved the peak of exceptional gold core realm. The 1st was Shui Yun from Bloodfeather Tower, who achieved the profound gold core realm. Shui Yun from Bloodfeather Tower, said Jian Wushuang with cold eyes. How could Shui Yun rank first on the list by merely achieving the profound gold core realm? Yang Zixuan and other people wondered. Check his combat achievements. Jian Wushuang also saw his achievements. The list read, a year ago, Bai Liken, the 2nd on the list, and Barbarian King Qing Kang, the 5th, joined hands to fight Shui Yun outside the Imperial Palace, and this only ended in a draw. The description of this was simple but shocked all of them. Because the top 5 on the list could even contend against Yin Yang Void Realm, and yet the 2 of them against him could only end in a draw. Meanwhile Shui Yun had merely achieved profound gold core realm. I now understand why Dragon Palace is reputed as the cultivation sanctuary, said Yang Zixuan suddenly. Exactly, nodded Jian Wushuang. 16 of 100 primordial gold core on Earthly Dragon list were disciples of Dragon Palace, and there were even 3 in the top 10. Jian Wushuang could not help but admire how outstanding Dragon Palace was. Among 100 people on the list, there were 16 of disciples of Dragon Palace, 9 from Gladiator Arena and 3 from Bloodfeather Tower. Although there were 3 people from Bloodfeather Tower on the list, this did not mean that these experts were inferior to those from Gladiator Arena. As the tower was an assassin's organization, members in it seldom exposed their true abilities, and nobody knew if they were able to be placed on the list. Apart from the 3 hegemons, the 7 ancient clans of Tianzong dynasty were home to various talents, and more than 10 of them were named on the list. There were also many solitary experts. Among 100 experts on the list were nearly 40 solitary experts. I have never seen any disciple of Dragon Palace named on the list with the exception of Sulai, said Jian Wushuang. Me neither, said Wang Yuan. As those disciples left the palace long time ago, it is rare to meet them. The palace, however, held regular annual meetings, during which many strong disciples on or off the list would be back, said Suro. Really, asked Jian Wushuang with a smile. Right about that time, whoosh, a person in a white robe appeared in the manor. Jian Wushuang and his companions hurried to stand up. Palace Master White. The four people gave a salute to him. Swordsman and Yang Zixuan, an expert in the world, could only emerge from countless trials and tribulations. As we know this, we assign missions to our disciples at intervals to train them, said Palace Master White with his hands behind his back. You two have been here for 3 months and it is time to receive your first mission. Saying that, the master produced 2 beams of light with his hands. Jian Wushuang and Yang Zixuan took them and saw 3 minor scrolls. As you two are at different stages, one in the spiritual sea realm and the other at primordial gold core, I have assigned you 2 different missions. But both of your missions have 3 stages which are already on your scrolls. You'd only see the next one after completing the former one, the master said. Without any hesitation, Jian Wushuang directly opened up the first scroll. My first objective is to become a 2-clawed golden dragon guard by finishing the guard mission. Perform it in the innumerable huge mountains. The reward for completion of the task was to get 2,000 points. Jian Wushuang's complexion immediately turned strange as soon as he saw the introduction of the task. As there were many 2-clawed golden dragon guard tasks, including those of any golden dragon subsidiary palace of Tianzong dynasty, but the master appointed me to complete the mission in the innumerable huge mountains. After that, Jian Wushuang came to understand that his second and third assignments were likely to be finished in the mountains. Tasks are now assigned and you may set off as soon as possible. You can only return to the palace after completion of the assignments, said the master with a light smile and left. Chapter 82, Meeting with Yerufeng again. My brothers, what is your task? Wang Yuan immediately came close as soon as Palace Master White left. Damn it, 2-clawed golden dragon guard. Wang Yuan screamed after he saw Jian Wushuang's task. Dragon Palace is so cruel, they made you complete the task of a 2-clawed golden dragon guard when you are just a warrior of spiritual sea. Jian Wushuang smiled awkwardly. There had always been a huge risk in Golden Dragon Guard's mission. Normally, 1-clawed Golden Dragon Guard missions were completed by a warrior reaching the peak of exceptional spiritual sea realm, while 2-clawed Golden Dragon Guard missions would be finished by primordial gold core, the peak of initial gold core realm, or even the profound gold core realm. It was a joke that a spiritual sea realm was even sent to complete a 2-clawed Golden Dragon Guard mission. Jian Wushuang, however, was totally different from other ordinary warriors because he was a disciple of Dragon Palace. He showed how outstanding he was by beating Nangongji of profound gold core realm. It seems ridiculous to ask a warrior of level of spiritual sea to achieve that, but actually, it is not too difficult for me. The real arduous one, I thought, was at the second and the third stage because I don't even know what they are, said Jian Wushuang with a smile. He was more curious about the tasks at the last 2 stages. He had scrolls in his hands, but he did not open them in a hurry. Brother, your first stage mission was simple, said Jian Wushuang when he had a glance at the scroll in Yang Zixuan's hands. Yang Zixuan's first mission was to kill a warrior of profound gold core realm who could be killed easily by him, although the warrior was good. When do you plan to set off? Said Yang Zixuan. I am going to visit Secret Pavilion and then leave directly. What about you? Said Jian Wushuang. I will go now, answered Yang Zixuan. Good luck, said Jian Wushuang and left for Secret Pavilion immediately. With lots of points, he purchased as many elixir pills as possible. First class Heavenly Spirit pill was worth 20 points, and he surprisingly spent 1,000 points buying 50. He had no alternative. Other people may reach the peak of exceptional spiritual sea realm from initial spiritual sea realm with the use of 10 pills. Jian Wushuang, however, was different, because he needed too much spiritual power to support his ultimate spiritual sea. It was questionable whether he would be able to reach stage 3 from stage 2 of ultimate spirit sea. What's more, he also spent 1,200 points buying pills for treatment. After his preparation, he set off. The innumerable huge mountains contained hundreds of mountains. The vast space and dangers in it were on another level compared to the dark forest. Moonheart City was located at the foot of great mountains. Whoosh! A huge figure dived sharply in the vast place outside the city. That was a big spiritual beast, griffin, with huge wings carrying a man on its back. Jian Wushuang directly jumped off its back and said thank you to golden armored sergeant. Nodded with a smile, the sergeant left riding the griffin. As the city was very far away from Dragon Palace, it could take him over half a month. But now he just spent less than half a day by taking the beast. Of course, he paid 100 points for that. After entering the city, Jian Wushuang went straight to the crowded and noisy Golden Dragon subsidiary palace. When he came to the counter, an old man behind the counter asked, "Can I help you?" Jian Wushuang took out the pledge as a disciple of Dragon Palace, which surprised the man. The man immediately said, "Master, this way please." Saying that, the man led him to the cellar. There was a man there who seemed cold. By coincidence he knew Jian Wushuang. "Your Excellency," yes, said Jian Wushuang with surprise. "Swordsman? I didn't expect that you were here," said the cold man with a smile when he saw Jian Wushuang. The man's name was Yirufeng, the Golden Dragon ambassador, who had actually brought him to Dragon Palace. "His Excellency, you know each other," said the old man in confusion. "We can handle this, you can go," said Yirufeng. "Yes, Your Excellency," the elder immediately retreated. "Haha, nice to see you again, brother," said Yirufeng with a big laugh. "What a coincidence," Jian Wushuang said with a smile. "Come on and have a seat." After sitting on chairs in the cellar, Yirufeng asked, "Brother, you were supposed to cultivate in the palace. Why did you come here? Did you get mission?" As a Golden Dragon ambassador of Golden Dragon Palace, Yirufeng knew about the Dragon Palace and understood that their disciples often received assignments from it. "I am on my mission as a two-clawed Golden Dragon guard and the destination was innumerable huge mountains," Jian Wushuang said. "What? You are here for a two-clawed Golden Dragon guard mission?" Yirufeng asked in shock. "Yes, what's wrong?" asked Jian Wushuang with confusion, and he did not know why Yirufeng overreacted. "Haha, that's great, to tell you the truth, we actually were going to ask you to do us a favor," said Yirufeng with a joy. "What is that?" asked Jian Wushuang asked with a smile. He could enter the palace just because of Yirufeng's recommendation and he owed him. So Jian Wushuang would not decline it if it was not to the death. "Follow me," said Yirufeng and took him to another hidden cellar of the Golden Dragon subsidiary palace. There was a girl in purple practicing swordsmanship. Phew! 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 The sword shadow was actually not bad. "She is?" asked Jian Wushuang looking at the girl. Although the girl was young, she, with exquisite swordsmanship, reached level of primordial gold core. What most impressed people was that the girl unexpectedly comprehended the level of water drop essence, although she was not yet high in it. Chapter 83, Yeme. The purple-clothed lady quickly finished practicing her swordsmanship, finally placing her sword back into its sheath. "Mayor, come here." Yirufeng lightly beckoned her. The purple-clothed lady immediately ran to Yirufeng and said, "Father! Father!" Jian Wushuang was shocked. "Brother Swordsman, this is my daughter, Yeme. Today she accepted a two-clawed Gold Dragon Guard mission in the Gold Dragon subsidiary palace," Yirufeng said. "Oh." Jian Wushuang smiled silently. He immediately understood what Yirufeng wanted to request from him. "Mayor, this is Swordsman, a brother of mine. Since you insist on doing the mission, I ask Swordsman to accompany you. That way, he can take care of you on the way," Yirufeng said to Yeme. "Him?" Yeme looked at Jian Wushuang coldly, and said, he is just a warrior in the spiritual sea realm. He has not even reached the primordial gold core realm. It's not him taking care of me, but me taking care of him. An expert of the gold core realm possessed a distinctive aura, so one glance was enough for Yamei to know that Jian Wushuang did not have a gold core. You don't understand. Brother Swordsman is a disciple of Dragon Palace, Yerufeng replied. A disciple of Dragon Palace. Yamei was a little bit shocked and gave Jian Wushuang another glance. But what followed was her sneering again before saying, so what? Even if he has a lot of talent, he is still only in the spiritual sea realm. If he uses his full strength, he is only the equal of someone in the initial gold core realm. How is he qualified to take care of me? No sooner than the words had been uttered by Yamei, she directly left the secret chamber, not even speaking one more word to Jian Wushuang and Yerufeng. Yerufeng looked a little bit awkward, and then he quickly apologized, sorry brother Swordsman, my daughter was very impolite. It's okay, Jian Wushuang shook his head and replied. He was not mad at all. Mayor is such a stubborn and arrogant girl. But, it's my fault, Yerufeng said, then lightly sighed. Her mother died when Mayor was a child. Being her father and a golden dragon messenger, I spent most of my time dealing with public affairs. Because of that, I failed in taking care of her well. Over the years, she has taken care of herself on her own. I guess that helped create her current personality. I see. Jian Wushuang nodded and then asked, Ambassador Ye, your purpose in coming was just to help her with the mission. Yes. Yerufeng continued, Mayor is too arrogant. She is anxious to become a two-clawed gold dragon guard, but she only achieved the primordial gold core realm half a month ago. What's more, the location for the mission is the innumerable huge mountains, which is extremely dangerous on the inside. Considering she could have an accident, I tried to stop her, but she would not listen to me. However, at that time, you arrived. Yerufeng looked at Jian Wushuang and pleaded, Brother Swordsman, since you are going to the innumerable huge mountains for the same mission, I want you to do me a favor and with Mayor, to watch out for her on the way. Okay, no problem. Jian Wushuang agreed without hesitation. Haha, that is great. I am relieved that I can leave her to you, Yerufeng said with a smile. He knew Jian Wushuang's strength well. He could easily kill experts in the initial gold core realm even before he was a disciple of Dragon Palace. Now he had spent time in a holy place for cultivators like Dragon Palace for 3 months, so his strength should be much greater than before. The next day. Outside Moonheart City. The 8 people who accepted the two-clawed gold dragon guard mission had all arrived. Among them, only Jian Wushuang was in the spiritual sea realm. So naturally he stood out from the crowd. Why is there a warrior in the spiritual sea realm here? Who brought him here? Taking a two-clawed gold dragon guard mission with someone in the spiritual sea realm. Is this a joke? Several eyes that were as sharp as a blade glared at Jian Wushuang. A few of them even shouted at him. It was common knowledge that two-clawed gold dragon guard missions were extremely risky. Even if they were all in the primordial gold core realm, the mission would still be quite a challenge. Not to mention now, with someone in the spiritual sea realm dragging them down. Hey boy, who allowed you to take this task? Get out of here, a heavily built man with whiskers howled angrily. Jian Wushuang gave the man a glance and said, Idiot. Why can't warriors in the spiritual sea realm accept a two-clawed gold dragon guard mission? Boy, what are you talking about? The whiskered man shouted in rage. All right, everybody shut up. A yell was heard, coming from a black-robed man. The black-robed man was the only two-clawed gold dragon guard among the 8 people who were present. He was also the initiator of this mission. While the remaining 7 were just one-clawed golden dragon guards. Among the 8 there were obvious disparities in strength. 2 had achieved the profound gold core realm, including the black-robed man. One was a warrior in the spiritual sea realm, which was Jian Wushuang. The other 6 were all in the initial gold core realm. Boy, no matter how you got the 2-clawed gold dragon guard mission, I have to inform you that it's not a mission that just anyone can easily accomplish. Also, opportunism will not work on this mission. The black-robed man stared at Jian Wushuang and rumbled. In addition, this mission was initiated by me. So I can tell you guys clearly, although you 7 accepted the mission simultaneously, only 5 at most can accomplish the task. That is to say, 2 of you are doomed to fail this mission. And you will have to rely on your own strength to decide if you can be one of those 5 who accomplish the task. Hearing this, everybody present looked serious, except for Jian Wushuang. Did you hear that, boy? Only 5 can accomplish the task. You are only at the spiritual sea realm. Do you think you can accomplish the mission? How ridiculous, the heavily built man with whiskers shouted and sneered. It's not something you get to decide. Jian Wushuang replied, without even giving him a glance. What an arrogant boy. Just wait, you will have your chance to be arrogant once the mission begins, the whiskery man said coldly. If everybody is ready, then let's go. No sooner than the black-robed man uttered this, the 8 warriors left for the innumerable huge mountains. On the way, the purple-clothed lady, Yamei, walked up to Jian Wushuang. Didn't I tell you I don't need anyone to take care of me? Yamei whispered. I owe your father a favor. What's more, I am also taking this mission, so I just have to watch out for you at my convenience, Jian Wushuang replied. With only your strength. You should give priority to your own safety, since I don't want you to run to me once you are in danger, Yamei said, then sneered. Don't worry. If I was in danger, then you would have already died long before that, Jian Wushuang said. Hearing what Jian Wushuang said, Yamei half closed her eyes. Her dislike for Jian Wushuang grew stronger. I cannot believe that the legendary disciples in Dragon Palace are as arrogant as you. Having finished her words, Yamei quickened her pace and glided ahead of Jian Wushuang. Chapter 84, Innumerable Huge Mountains. Enormous forests and numerous spirit beasts were spread throughout the innumerable huge mountains. And apparently, these spiritual beasts were much stronger than those in the dark forest. Likewise, the innumerable huge mountains are much more dangerous than the dark forest. A sudden loud thump disturbed the tranquility of the forest. Peng. Following that, a human could be heard laughing before he said, "Haha, just a spiritual beast in the initial gold core realm. You were doomed the second you met me. Taishan, don't waste your time, let's keep going." A black-robed man, the leader, said in a low voice. "I'm coming," said Taishan, a strong man with a big mustache, laughing while holding a spirit beast core in his hand. Every spirit beast in the gold core realm has beast core that is very valuable. It had been 2 days since the 8 of them had entered the innumerable huge mountains, so they knew very little about each other. But, they at least knew each other's names. The 2 men leading them were strongest, having reached the profound gold core realm. The black-robed man was known as Ban. As for the other, he was called Taishan. He was a burly man with a big mustache, who liked to argue with Jian Wushuang. The 8 continued to move forward, deeper into the innumerable huge mountains. But a short while later, they suddenly halted on a treetop. What is it? They stood on the treetop and looked down. There were many dead bodies laying parallel to each other, spread out on the ground. Let's check the area, said Ban. Following his words, everyone went down to the ground, carefully checking the bodies. Jian Wushuang also approached one of the dead bodies. This is a sword scar. Seeing the deadly scar on the neck of the dead body, Jian Wushuang became alert. Apparently, the scar was not caused by a spirit beast, but a sword. Thus, Jian Wushuang looked around and noticed that they all died the same way. Nothing but a sword scar was found on each one of them. They were killed in one move, without a chance to fight back. Whoever did this was much stronger than them, Jian Wushuang said with a dark expression. These people. Yan Min also looked, while feeling overwhelmed. They were killed by a human hand, and probably all by the same one. Jian Wushuang said. Human. Yamei changed her look all of a sudden. They have not been dead for long, which means that the killers might still be in the area. Jian Wushuang checked the bloodstains on the dead bodies once again. It was obvious that they were killed just minutes ago because the bloodstains were not dry yet. Besides that, there were so many spirit beasts in innumerable huge mountains. If they had been dead for long, their bodies should have been eaten by those spirit beasts already. In which case they would no longer be completely intact. All of you need to be careful. Spirit beasts are not the most dangerous threat here. Other humans can be even more dangerous, Ba Yan said with a serious look. Everyone nodded. They all knew that human beings are more dangerous than spirit beasts since this was not the first time that they had accepted a mission from the Golden Dragon Guard. Captain Ba Yan, you are being too paranoid. Look at the people who were killed. Only 4 of them reached the initial Gold Core realm, while the rest were merely in the spiritual sea realm. Now look at our group. We are much stronger than them, aren't we? They won't have the guts to mess with us, said Tai Shan, in a disapproving tone. Just be careful, anyway. Ba Yan said, let's keep going. Thus, the 8 continued their journey. Finally, half a day later, they arrived at the destination. In front of them was a thick mountain forest. All right, now I can tell you what the specific mission is. Ba Yan looked at the 7 people and said seriously, in the forest in front of us, there are 2 blue-eyed beasts with golden horns. I accidentally saw them while passing through here previously. The blue-eyed beast with golden horns has a coarse appearance. Both its skin and bones are excellent materials for making weapons, not to mention the golden horns. On top of that, its core is also quite valuable. Its whole body is a treasure. That's why I set up the mission at the Golden Dragon Palace. All you need to do is help me kill the 2 beasts. Everyone became alert. A blue-eyed beast with golden horns. How many gold horns do they have? Someone quickly asked. 4 blue-eyed beasts with golden horns, the more horns they have, the more powerful they are. One has 3 golden horns and the other has 2, so they are absolutely within our ability. As for the requirement for completing the mission, that would be obtaining a golden horn. However, there are only 5 golden horns altogether. After hearing that, all 7 of them had a strange look on their faces. The blue-eyed beast with 3 golden horns is the most powerful among spirit beasts in the profound gold core realm. Normal warriors in the profound gold core realm cannot match up to it at all. By comparison, the one with 2 horns is less powerful, but it could still fight on even terms with a human in the profound gold core realm. With their current group, it would be easy to deal with the 2 blue-eyed beasts with golden horns. There was only one problem. 7 people accepted the mission, but there were not enough horns for everyone to complete the mission. 7 people wanted to obtain the 5 golden horns, which meant 2 of them were doomed to fail this mission. As for who would finish and who fail, Ba Yan didn't say a word because everyone understood it would depend on how capable they were. Although the 2 clawed missions are not as cruel as the 1 clawed missions, it is still full of danger. 7 people and 5 golden horn. Eventually, there will be a deadly struggle to decide who succeeds. Jian Wushuang thought secretly. They are in the same forest, but the forest is big, and they don't always stay together. However, once one of them is in danger, the other will immediately come. So we have to split up. Ba Yan began to make the arrangements. Everyone, listen up. Tai Shan, Wang Chong, Lin Yu, and I will deal with the 3-horned beast. The rest of you. Ba Yan looked at the other 4 and said, you 4 are not as powerful, but you can still deal with the two-horned beast. After you finish, you are free to decide who gets the horns. What do you say? Okay, not a problem, Tai Shan said and smiled. I agree. Wang Chong and Lin Yu also nodded. Tai Shan. Wang Chong and Lin Yu agreed without any hesitation, because they knew they can finish the mission by killing the blue-eyed beast with 3 golden horns and get 3 golden horns, and distribute them evenly. But the rest 4 of them didn't look well except Jian Wushuang, because they knew that only 2 golden horns would be gained after killing the blue-eyed beast with golden horns, which means that 2 of them are doomed to fail this mission. They are reluctant to do this, but they have to. After all, they are not powerful enough in terms of their cultivation of spiritual power. Since you all agreed, it's settled then, here we go. Ba said, and the 8 soon divided into 2 groups, moving toward the forest. Chapter 85, The Accident. The 4, including Jian Wushuang, hastily and quietly went ahead in the forest. Boom! A huge roar could be heard nearby with a bright sound of animals. They have launched their attack, proclaimed Yeme. We need to find the 2-horned beast quickly and begin our attack as well, the indigo-robed man said. You don't need to find it because it is running towards us, Jian Wushuang said immediately. The other 3, including Yeme, had no time to figure out what was happening because the humongous 2-horned rhino appeared in front of them while knocking down rows of trees. The blue-eyed rhino with 2 horns. They were shocked. Kill it! Without hesitation, all 4 of them began releasing their spiritual power, after which they launched their attacks. Among the 4 warriors, the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man quickly displayed their strength. With one using an axe while the other used a long spear, they launch a powerful attack toward the incoming blue-eyed rhino. Jian Wushuang also immediately launched an attack with his sword, releasing power equivalent to the initial gold core realm. Among them, Yeme seemed to be the strongest. Swish! As she attacked, a streak of sword shadow using water drop sword essence slashed towards the blue-eyed rhino. Before landing on its body, the sword shadow split into 3 dazzling streaks of sword light. Impressive swordsmanship! The indigo-robed man exclaimed. Jian Wushuang frowned and shook his head. Her swordsmanship is good, but she is too naive and hasty. Jian Wushuang understood clearly, killing the blue-eyed rhino was not a problem. The real issue was the fight over the 2 horns. However, since Yeme showed her strength already, the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man would be cautious around Yeme. Jian Wushuang noticed that the indigo-robed man seemed to be shocked by Yeme. In fact, both of them had a weird look in their eyes. Jian Wushuang immediately knew that as soon as the blue-eyed rhino was dead both men would work together and launch a sneak attack on Yeme for the sake of acquiring the horns. Clang! 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 Although the attack landed on the blue-eyed rhino's body, only 3 white marks were left behind on its hard shell. The shell is too hard. Aim for the stomach, it should be softer and it's not protected by the shell. Jian Wushuang shouted. I do not need your advice. Yeme glanced at him before launching an attack towards the blue-eyed rhino's belly. Howl! As the blue-eyed rhino roared, it stomped on the ground with its hooves, causing the ground to tremble. Then it lowered its head, pointing the 2 horns at Yeme, and attacked. It charged straight towards Yeme with its golden horns. But, it was so big and awkward, Yeme easily moved around it and let it pass. Kill it quickly. It's trying to run away. The indigo-robed man was attacking as he exclaimed happily. Although the blue-eyed rhino had great defense, it was still just a beast. Jian Wushuang and the others worked together to attack it. In particular, Yeme aggressively attacked the beast's belly. As a result, the blue-eyed rhino had already reached its limit. It is going to die. Yeme had a delighted look on her face, but she still felt contempt towards Jian Wushuang. She had played the biggest part in killing this blue-eyed rhino. Of course, the other 3 did work together and assist her. but Jian Wushuang only helped to prevent the beast from escaping, so it wasn't odd that she felt contempt towards him. With this level of strength, you thought you could help me? Yamei thought. But at this moment, a violently rampaging spiritual power appeared as a 2-meter tall figure jumped out of the forest. Not good. Another beast. It's a Herculean demonic monkey. Profound gold core realm. Yamei and the indigo-robed man were shocked when it appeared, causing their expressions to become slightly pale. Even a normal Herculean demonic monkey is powerful, let alone this one, which is in the profound gold core realm. The Herculean demonic monkey, in the profound gold core realm, was stronger than them since they were in the initial gold core realm. This is a catastrophe. Yamei's face turned pale. You three should finish killing the blue-eyed rhino. I will deal with the Herculean demonic monkey. Jian Wushuang said in a deep voice. You. When Yamei looked towards Jian Wushuang, he had already rushed towards the Herculean demonic monkey. A Herculean demonic monkey at the profound gold core realm. Jian Wushuang smiled, releasing a strong spiritual power that surpassed the spiritual sea realm. At the same time, a massive amount of earth sword essence began to fill the area. The 7th move of the formless sword wave. As he shouted, his triple kill sword moved to attack the beast. Countless sword shadows gathered together to form an immensely heavy mountain, which began descending towards Herculean demonic monkey. Damn humans! The Herculean demonic monkey's eyes turned red as it launched an attack that seemed to be able to shatter heaven and earth. Yamei and the indigo-robed man were shocked when they saw this. That guy, does he want to die? With his strength, he shouldn't even be able to defend against a Herculean demonic monkey in the profound gold core realm. Yet, he dared to attack it head-on. He must want to die. Stupid. Yamei cursed him. Herculean demonic monkeys were known for their strength. Even if a warrior in the same realm was fighting with it, they would be careful and would avoid facing its strength head-on power. Let alone, Jian Wushuang, who was only in the spiritual sea realm. He must be crazy. Yamei and the indigo-robed man thought Jian Wushuang had lost his mind. What happened next surprised all three of them. Boom. When they saw what happened, they were shocked by Jian Wushuang. The beast, which reached the profound gold core realm, flew out like a bullet, smashing into a tree that was more than 10 meters behind it. Boom. The tree, unable to withstand the impact from the Herculean demonic monkey, was smashed to pieces. Chapter 86, Jian Wushuang's strength. How could that be? The indigo-robed man's eyes almost fell out their sockets. This is impossible. The other purple-haired middle-aged man was also completely shocked. Is this the real strength of the disciples of Dragon Palace? Yamei also had unprecedented shock in her eyes. It was an unstoppable force versus an immovable object when a warrior at the level of spiritual sea confronted the Herculean demonic monkey with profound gold core realm. As a result, would the Herculean demonic monkey decide to escape? Quick, kill the blue-eyed beast with golden horns. After a brief shock, the indigo-robed man reacted first and shouted loudly. Yamei was startled and the harsh light in her eyes flashed. Wow! The sword light roared out instantly with astonishing power. Her strength at the moment erupted to the extreme. She did not know how long Jian Wushuang could delay the Herculean demonic monkey, so she had to battle quickly to force an outcome. Go to hell! The indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man also shot out at full force at the moment. As their power was unleashed, the blue-eyed beast with golden horns, who had already been pushed to the limit, immediately lost its struggle and was killed directly. When the blue-eyed beast with golden horns died, the 2 golden horns on its foreheads immediately became the target. Golden horns. Yamei rolled her eyes and went towards the blue-eyed beast with golden horns. Grab them quickly. The indigo-robed man suddenly burst out shouting, followed by a sound of humming and a towering axe shadow chopped towards Yamei suddenly. What? Yamei was shocked and quickly wielded her sword to resist. As the axe shadow heavily hit on her long sword, Yamei backed sharply. Ha ha! When the laughter sounded and Yamei was retreating, the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man rushed to the dead body of the blue-eyed beast with golden horns immediately. Then they removed the 2 golden horns of the blue-eyed beast with golden horns with giant axes. After 4 blows in succession, they finally detached the 2 golden horns. 2 golden horns immediately fell into the hands of the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man. You too. Yamei, armed with a long sword, glared at the 2 men in front of her with fury in her eyes. All is fair in war, little girl. Thank you for killing the blue-eyed beast with golden horns, but these 2 golden horns belong to us. The indigo-robed man smiled. Bastard. Yamei was becoming more furious. There was a towering aura surrounding her with signs that it would erupt. What? Do you want to fight? The indigo-robed man grinned, and next to him, the purple-haired middle-aged man also stared at Yamei icily. If it was 1 for 1, he knew that neither of them was an opponent of Yamei, but by teaming up, they would have no fear. Ho ho, 2 strong men attacking a little girl. Don't you feel ashamed? A light voice suddenly sounded. The facial expression of the indigo-robed man and purple-haired middle-aged man both changed, and they quickly looked towards the source of the voice. At the side, Jian Wushuang, armed with his triple kill sword, was surrounded by overwhelming sword essences. As for the mighty demonic monkey, which frightened them when they heard of it, it was lying at the feet of Jian Wushuang unmoving. A bloody hole was in its chest with streams of blood flowing out. This scene made both the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man inhale sharply. The Herculean demonic monkey is dead. Yamei was also astonished. After watching Jian Wushuang fighting with the Herculean demonic monkey and hacking it to death with 1 sword stroke, they had already been shocked, but now it was dead. The Herculean demonic monkey could not be dead. Since Jian Wushuang began his fight with the mighty demonic monkey, it had only been a few minutes. It was during those few minutes that the mighty demonic monkey had been killed. What was happening? Were they dreaming? The indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man were a little confused. Even Yamei, who knew Jian Wushuang's real identity, was still extremely shocked. At the same time, she finally understood why her father asked Jian Wushuang to take care of her. She had looked down on Jian Wushuang before, thinking that disciples of Dragon Palace were useless. But now she knew how foolish she was. They were shocked, but Jian Wushuang was very calm without any exultation. After all, he was a disciple of Dragon Palace. Disciples of Dragon Palace were all super talents. They were all weirdos. But he was the weirdest among them because he could defeat Nangongji after he had joined the Dragon Palace for only 3 months. Besides, he cultivated such a defiant cultivation tactic as the heavenly creation skill. Although the Herculean demonic monkey's power is extremely high, it only had brute force. The power I used through the heavenly creation skill is only at the level of the ordinary initial gold core realm, but my swordsmanship and sword essence are very high. Depending on the power of the formless sword wave and the swordsmanship power to fight with it directly, I had an absolute advantage. In other respects, I have a significant edge. It was an easy kill. Jian Wushuang did not take it too seriously. Catching a glimpse of the remains of the Herculean demonic monkey, Jian Wushuang waved his hand and put the remains of the mighty demonic monkey into the interspatial ring, and then Jian Wushuang looked at the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man again. During the killing of the blue-eyed beast with golden horns, Yamei and I contribute the most. But the 2 most important gold horns belong to you 2 whose contributions are the least. That's not fair, is it? Jian Wushuang said with a light smile. What do you want? The indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man were staring at Jian Wushuang fearfully. They thought Jian Wushuang would be entangled with the Herculean demonic monkey for a long time and had no time to think about him, so they grabbed the two gold horns quickly. They had never dreamed that Jian Wushuang would kill the Herculean demonic monkey in only a few minutes. Take out the two golden horns, and I can ignore what happened just now, Jian Wushuang said. The indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man were displeased and looked at each other. Then the indigo-robed man nodded and said, "Okay, we will take them out." Hearing this, Yamei breathed with a relief. However, suddenly, "Run!" the indigo-robed man shouted lowly, and the purple-haired middle-aged man leaped up immediately. Both of them were very clear that the condition for the completion of this mission was exactly the two gold horns. As long as they could escape and flee to the Golden Dragon subsidiary palace, even without the witness of their team leader Ba Yan, they could complete this two-clawed Golden Dragon Guard mission with these two gold horns. But once they moved and acted, an icy sword light immediately whistled out. Whoosh! Whoosh! The sword light whistled slightly, skimming directly onto these two men's faces. The indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man stopped their paces at once. They were shocked, feeling their faces turn cold. They subconsciously touching their faces and felt a stream of scalding blood. At the same time, Jian Wushuang appeared in front of them suddenly, and the icy voice passed slowly into their ears. The stroke just now only left a sword mark on your faces, but the next one will cut your throats. Chapter 87, The Observed Prey. The purple-haired middle-aged man and the indigo-robed man swallowed their saliva. They trembled and experienced great fear, after they saw a death-like smile on Jian Wushuang's lips. I will hand over the golden horn." The indigo-robed man trembled and tossed the golden horn to Jian Wushuang immediately. "Me too." The purple-haired middle-aged man also handed over his golden horn. Taking the golden horn, Jian Wushuang smiled coldly, "You are not foolish men." After speaking, Jian Wushuang walked toward Yamei with a flicker. Jian Wushuang handed over a golden horn to her and said, "This is yours." "Me?" Yamei was still confused. "You deserve it because of your contribution while killing the blue-eyed beast with golden horns," Jian Wushuang said. After hesitating a while, Yamei ground her teeth and took the golden horn. She mumbled, "Thank you." After shrugging his shoulders, Jian Wushuang said quietly, "Yamei, for your father's sake, I remind you that you'd better not trust anyone even if he is your partner, because many have incomprehensible hearts. You will meet many as you travel the world." After being slightly startled, Yamei looked at the indigo-robed man beside her and the purple-haired middle-aged man and subsequently nodded. "Is it already over?" While a loud booming voice, the black-robed man Ba Yan walked out from the forest. "Captain Ba Yan." Jian Wushuang and others looked at the black-robed man. Seeing the corpse of the blue-eyed beast with golden horns, a satisfied smile emerged on Ba Yan's face. Ba Yan waved his hands to put the corpse into the interspatial ring. Ba Yan only knew that Jian Wushuang together with 3 people killed the blue-eyed beast with golden horns, but did not know what happened here a moment ago nor the existence of the Herculean demonic monkey. Jian Wushuang had already put the corpse of the Herculean demonic monkey into his interspatial ring. "Who got the 2 golden horns?" Ba Yan asked curiously. After hearing that, the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man's expression were depressed. However, Jian Wushuang smiled and said, "Yamei got one. So did I, with good luck." "Oh." The countenance of Ba Yan grew odd. He did not expect that Yamei obtained 1 golden horn. After all, Yamei was in the initial gold core realm of Jindan and her strength was not weak. But Jian Wushuang? Only in the spiritual sea realm, Jian Wushuang could obtain 1 golden horn? Ba Yan couldn't help but look at the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man. He found that they stood there with reticence and sporadically looked at Jian Wushuang with gazes filled with dense fear. These 2 men, Ba Yan, an experienced person, understood the 2 men's gazes. Based on this, Ba Yan was more curious. What happened? I feel the fear from the two men towards Swordsman. After all, Swordsman is only in the spiritual sea realm, but they are all in the primordial gold core. Although Ban was curious, he did not ask. Now that the two golden horns have been distributed, we should move to meet Taishan immediately. The strength of the three blue-eyed beasts with golden horns was high, so we expended more effect to kill them. Now, Taishan and the two others are recovering their spiritual power. Ban smiled and said, "Yes." Jian Wushuang nodded with a smile. Several people walked toward another battlefield. In the mountain forest. "Swordsman, could you tell me what happened a moment ago? Why do I feel that the two men are afraid of you?" After glancing at the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man, Ban asked discreetly. "Captain Ban, I have said that it was due to luck." Jian Wushuang smiled and did not want to explain much. "Forget it if you don't want to say." Ban smirked. "My aim is the two corpses of the blue-eyed beasts with golden horns. As for who could succeed in the mission, it does not matter much to me." Jian Wushuang smiled silently. He found that the attitude from Ban towards him had improved. At this moment, "Come out. Son of AB*TCH. Do you dare to battle me directly?" "Ah!" Hearing a salvo of hysterical and furious roars from up ahead, Jian Wushuang and other people were startled. "Something has happened," Jian Wushuang said. "The voice belongs to Taishan." Ban frowned. "Hurry up! Hurry up!" The five men accelerated their speed and dashed up ahead as quickly as possible. Soon after, they arrived at a desolate war-torn land. In the center of this land, a bearded strong man was clasping a big bronze saber. He stared around appearing flushed, and roared furiously continuously. Around the bearded strong man, there were two cold corpses. Wang Chong, Lin Yu. After seeing the two corpses, Jian Wushuang and the others changed their expression. The two corpses were their partners. They had worked together with Ban and Taishan to kill the blue-eyed beast with golden horns ago. Subsequently, Wang Chong, Lin Yu, and Taishan had stayed there to recover their spiritual power. Meanwhile, Ban had been looking for Jian Wushuang and his three companions. However, it was beyond their expectation that the two people had actually died before Ban could lead Jian Wushuang and his companions over. "Taishan. What happened?" Ban walked toward Taishan. "Don't ask me. I don't know." Taishan still flushed with his veins bulging on his forehead. Furthermore, a trace of fear was in his eyes. "We are being observed by someone," Jian Wushuang suddenly said. "Ah!" Everyone looked at Jian Wushuang. "Look at their wounds." Jian Wushuang pointed to the two corpses of Wang Chong and Lin Yu. There was only one scar on the whole corpse. The scar was located at their necks and there was an obvious sword scar. Death with a single blow. They had no chance to retaliate. "It's similar to the corpses on the road which we passed by earlier." Jian Wushuang spoke softly. "It's him." The countenance of everyone fell, after hearing what Jian Wushuang said. In fact, they didn't know who he was. However, they had seen numerous corpses by the road. Those people were killed by a single harsh blow. He might be close by. Jian Wushuang only saw tall trees and could not identify where the man was hiding. "Does he regard us as prey?" Yamei whispered. "Very likely." Jian Wushuang nodded. In the innumerable huge mountains, not only was it useful to hunt spirit beasts, but also hunting humans. Hunting humans was even more profitable. A man in a silver robe stood in a treetop adjacent to the barren land. Cloaked by leaves, he could see what Jian Wushuang and his companions were doing, but his targets could not see him. Two people in the profound gold core realm. Three people in the initial gold core realm. And a man at spiritual sea realm. All of them are the Golden Dragon Guard. This looks interesting. Let me play with you. The man in the silver robe tilted his lips and smiled coldly after observing the worried expression on Ban and others. Chapter 88, Human or Ghost. Inside the innumerable huge mountains, 6 figures walked ahead slowly, looking around vigilantly. Taishan, what happened? You should tell us the details, Ban said. Wang Chong, Lin Yu, and I were recovering our spiritual power because it had been greatly consumed after battling the blue-eyed beast with golden horns. Suddenly, Wang Chong screamed miserably. When I turned to look at him, he had been killed, Taishan said with a muffled voice. After the death of Wang Chong, Lin Yu and I became vigilant immediately. But, what was unexpected was that a few seconds later, Lin Yu was also killed in my presence. Even I couldn't see how the assassin did it. Hearing that, everyone's expression became very somber. Do you know his appearance and his cultivation of spiritual power? Ban continued asking. No, Taishan shook his head. You are a man in the profound gold core realm. How could you not know the man's cultivation of spiritual power? Yamei could not help excoriating him. I said that I couldn't see him. His speed was amazing. When I was able to perceive him, he had already fleeted off into the mountain forest, Taishan exclaimed in a low voice. Yamei wanted to say something. Okay. Please stop. Ban waved his hands, and then looked around, saying, we don't know whether the man is still around and targeting us or has left. He could have left. An indigo-robed man could not help saying. The deaths of Wang Chong and Lin Yu could induce grief from other people. But, to the indigo-robed man and the purple-haired middle-aged man, their deaths could only induce delight. That was because the golden horns were left and the 2 of them could succeed in the mission of the 2-clawed golden dragon guard now that they had died. Haha. Thanks to the powerhouse who killed Wang Chong and Lin Yu, I can obtain the golden horns and then succeed in the mission, the indigo-robed man laughed secretly. Suddenly, a ghost-like figure approached him, followed by a sword shadow that swept directly toward his neck. Too fast. Too sudden. The people around him perceived nothing, barring Jian Wushuang, who swerved his head at this moment. In the next moment, the sword shadow directly cut the indigo-robed man's neck. What? The indigo-robed man's life was dissipating as he goggled from the pain in his neck. The ghost-like figure faded into the nearby forest. Thud. The corpse of the indigo-robed man fell to the ground with a muffled sound. Huh. What? This. No one around noticed what had happened until now and they were all startled. It's him. It's him. He didn't leave. He is still nearby, Taishan roared, filled with terror. The countenances of Ban, Yamei, and the purple-haired middle-aged man became ghostly pale at that moment. Before, they had not thought that it was terrifying, even though they had heard Taishan's narrative about his prior experience. But now, they had witnessed it for themselves. The indigo-robed man had been with them and was killed right under their noses. Nevertheless, they could not see any trace of the adversary. They did not even know whether it was a human or a ghost who had killed the indigo-robed man. Just then, a feeling of terror emerged from the bottom of everyone's heart. Except for the fearless Jian Wushuang, who wore an odd expression. Jian Wushuang had witnessed the scene, but Ban and Taishan, who were in the profound gold core realm, did not see it. However, because of what he saw, he felt strange. A warrior in silver who is in the profound gold core realm. His cultivation of spiritual power is in the profound gold core realm and the strength that I sensed is not very strong. However, his speed is very fast and his movements are very flexible. Moreover, he has a good method of assassination, Jian Wushuang thought secretly. Regarding the assassination method, he had first thought of the killers from the Blood Feather Tower. However, the killers from the Blood Feather Tower dressed in masks and black robes, which was different from the warrior in silver. The actual strength of that man is probably not comparable to Ban. However, his cloaked assassination terrifies Ban and Taishan, who are in the profound gold core realm. It's a wise method. Jian Wushuang tilted his lips slightly. Jian Wushuang was not afraid of the warrior in silver after learning something about him. But the other people were still in fear. Who are you? What kind of hatred do you have for us? Why did you pick us? Looking around unceasingly, Ban spread his voice with a cold expression. Behind a nearby tree, the warrior in silver's cold smile bloomed upon hearing that. Who's next? The warrior in silver looked straight ahead. At this moment, the 8-person group of Ban had only 5 people left. The 5 people were, Ban and Taishan, who were in the profound gold core realm. Yamei and the purple-haired middle-aged man, who were in the initial gold core realm. And Jian Wushuang, who was in the level of spiritual C. The warriors who are in the profound gold core realm are a bit hard to kill. Therefore, I must kill those 2 people last. The warrior in silver looked at Ban and Taishan, shaking his head. And then he looked at Jian Wushuang. That spiritual C realm warrior. He is too weak to motivate me to kill him. Okay. The 2 remaining warriors are in the initial gold core realm. The warrior in silver stared at Yamei and the purple-haired middle-aged man and then made a decision. I'll choose her. The gaze from the warrior in silver was locked on Yamei. A few seconds later, he silently approached her. In the center of the mountain forest, Ban and the others had already become greatly frightened. Watch out! Pay attention to the surroundings, Ban said in a muffled voice. The 5 living people all wore somber expressions, except for Jian Wushuang. Whoosh! A supersonic noise resounded, followed by a silver figure suddenly bursting out of the nearby forest. His movements and appearance were just like a ghost's. His speed was stupendous. In a flash, he was right in front of Yamei. Watch out! Ban first cried out, but it was too late to rescue her. Escape! Taishan also roared. What? Immediately, Yamei's dark pupils shrank as her hair stood on end. An outburst of astonishing killing intent enveloped her when the ghost-like figure appeared in front of her. At that moment, Yamei was fraught with dense terror. She was too frightened to resist it. Ha ha! Another one. After seeing that, the warrior in silver grinned. His purple soft sword lightly stabbed toward Yamei's neck. Suddenly. Swoosh! A cold sword light silently chopped toward him. Chapter 89, Slaughter. What? The smile on the warrior in silver froze at once. He looked in disbelief at the sword light that had suddenly appeared. It's him. The warrior in silver also recognized who had executed that move. Was it that warrior at the level of spiritual C, whom he had paid no attention to and regarded boring to kill? Yes, it was exactly that warrior at the level of spiritual C. When everyone around, even including Yamei herself, did not realize what was happening, Jian Wushuang had clearly seen the warrior in silver's figure and cleaved toward him. This sword light, a flicker of fear appeared in the warrior in silver's eyes. The sword light was too fast, even much faster than what he could execute with his full power. It was too fast for him to defend. In the next instant, the sword had directly roared past right in front of him. Ah! The warrior in silver immediately let out a sad and painful cry, looking at his right hand with astonishment. Actually, that sword light had directly chopped half of his palm off as streams of blood wildly burst out. What? The several people around also witnessed what had happened. They finally were able to clearly see the warrior in silver's figure, as well as his palm chopped in half and the purple soft sword that had dropped on the ground. At that moment, everyone stopped breathing. Run! With half of his palm chopped off, the warrior in silver's face twisted with great pain, but he still remained a little sober. Instead of picking up the chopped off half palm and that purple soft sword, he rushed out and escaped. He clearly knew that what he was most versed in were assassination and high speed. As for face-to-face slaughter, either Ba Yan or Tai Shan, who were both in the profound gold core realm, could beat him single-handedly. Hence, once his figure was seen, he had to leave immediately. What was worse was that his right hand was crippled now, and his battle strength was largely reduced. As long as all of you have come, then stay here. A floating voice was passed into the warrior in silver's ears when his complexion sharply changed. Shua. The icy sword edge directly penetrated through the warrior in silver's chest from the back, with its edge passing right through the entire heart. The third movement of formless swordsmanship. Expeditious maneuver. The warrior in silver just felt a little sweetness in his throat. In the next instant, a gush of blood spurted from his mouth, before his body slowly slumped down to the ground. Even when he died, he could not believe that he would die at the hand of a warrior at the level of spiritual C. After killing the warrior in silver, Jian Wushuang put the triple kill sword back into its sheath. Then, he bent over to pick up the warrior in silver's ring of heaven and earth and that purple soft sword from the ground before turning around to look at Ba Yan and the others. As soon as he turned around, Jian Wushuang found that all of Ba Yan, Tai Shan, Yamei, and that purple-haired middle-aged man were staring at him with shocked faces. "Swordsman, you killed him," Ba Yan said in astonishment. "Should I not try to kill him and wait for him to kill you one by one?" Jian Wushuang asked in return. Both Ba Yan and Tai Shan looked at Jian Wushuang in a different way. Like Tai Shan, he did not regard Jian Wushuang as somebody at all before this. In his view, a warrior at the level of spiritual C trying to complete the task of the two-clawed golden dragon guard meant that he was pursuing death. He had even quarreled with Jian Wushuang. But now, Tai Shan absolutely could not look down upon Jian Wushuang. Instead, he felt deep fear toward him from the bottom of his heart. Yes, it was fear. After all, that warrior in silver had killed 3 of his companions in front of him, but he did not even see the shadow of their opponent. However, Jian Wushuang did directly slaughter that warrior in silver. Having witnessed such strength, how could he stand there with no fear? As for Yamei and that purple-haired middle-aged man, they had seen before that Jian Wushuang killed the Herculean demonic monkey in the profound gold core realm in just a moment, so they had known that Jian Wushuang's strength was very horrifying. Yet, when they saw Jian Wushuang so easily slaughter that warrior in silver, they still felt extremely shocked. "Swordsman, thank you." Yamei earnestly stared at Jian Wushuang and expressed her gratitude. Just now, that warrior in silver had aimed to kill her, which she knew very clearly. If Jian Wushuang had not saved her in time, she would be dead now. "You're welcome. Anyway, we are companions." "Of course I can't watch you be killed," Jian Wushuang casually answered. Yamei nodded slightly. Although Jian Wushuang seemed to be very casual, she had remembered his kind help. "All right. The guy who was in our way has been killed. Captain Ba Yan, let's continue ahead," said Jian Wushuang. "Huh." Ba Yan was stunned before grasping his words. Then, he nodded in a hurry, saying, all right. Let's go." At night, on a hill, Ba Yan and the other several people were gathering in front of a fire. How could it be? That man was only in the profound gold core realm with not very powerful strength. He was just relatively good at assassination. If I fought against him face to face, maybe I could have beaten him. Tai Shan's voice was very solid. "Humph, what a shame. Anyway, you are an expert in the profound gold core realm, but couldn't see his cultivation of spiritual power." Ba Yan sneered. "That's all due to that guy's high speed." Tai Shan curled his lip and then said, "Yet, brother Swordsman is really awesome. He's only in the spiritual sea realm, but he so easily killed a warrior in the primordial gold core." After knowing Jian Wushuang's real strength, Tai Shan was not proud at all in front of Jian Wushuang. Really awesome. Ba Yan also praised him. Such an excellent spiritual Sea Realm warrior can't be an ordinary person. In my opinion, he must possess a great background. He is even maybe a disciple of the Dragon Palace. Dragon Palace. Both Taishan and the purple-haired middle-aged man opened their eyes wide. That swordsman is really a disciple of Dragon Palace, said Yamei just then. Really? Ba Yan, Taishan, and the purple-haired middle-aged man showed expressions of great interest. At their side, Jian Wushuang was casually sitting on a giant rock, playing with the purple soft sword in his hand. That purple soft sword was obtained after killing that warrior in silver. What was noticeable was that there were 2 red characters engraved on its sword hilt. 11. 11. Jian Wushuang murmured. Then, he turned his hand over and a small scroll appeared. That was naturally the task scroll of the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace's task of Stage 1 had been mostly finished, so he began studying the task of Stage 2. Opening the scroll. Task of Stage 2, kill the Dark Silver Guard. Task location, innumerable huge mountains. Task description, in the palace of the Dongyang Commandery Prince of the Tianzong dynasty, there is a well-cultivated guarding army called the Dark Silver Guard. There are more than 100 Dark Silver Guards, who often secretly help the palace of Dongyang Commandery Prince to kill enemies and complete some confidential tasks. The cultivation process of the Dark Silver Guard is extremely cruel and complicated. Chapter 90, Dark Silver Guard. According to news received from Golden Dragon Palace, the Dark Silver Guard launched a mission this month with the target of assassinating a Golden Dragon Guard to obtain the Golden Dragon Ring. There was a Dark Silver Guard team with 12 members which successfully entered the innumerable huge mountains. Mission requirements: to kill at least 5 Dark Silver Guards and take their purple soft swords with specific numbers that the Dark Silver Guards carry all the time as evidence. Award: 1,000 points for killing a Dark Silver Guard and 3,000 points for killing a Dark Silver Guard leader. After reading the whole mission scroll, Jian Wushuang looked weird. Was the warrior in silver I killed a Dark Silver Guard? Jian Wushuang looked at the purple soft sword carved with the number 11. Obviously, it was the specific number of the Dark Silver Guard. The Dark Silver Guard set the Golden Dragon Guard as a target for their mission. When Dragon Palace got the news, I, a disciple of Dragon Palace, was sent to stop the Dark Silver Guards. Well, what they plan and conspire are so complicated. Jian Wushuang silently smiled but took it seriously in his heart. The Stage 1 task was quite easy for him. However, Stage 2 made him feel stressed. It should be known that it was a Dark Silver Guard team with 12 members in the profound Gold Core realm. All members were good at rapid and stealthy assassination. What's more, they were elusive. It was not easy to set them as the targets. It's good news that members of the team are dispersed in the innumerable huge mountains. I only need to assassinate 5 Dark Silver Guards to fulfill the task, and this is possible. Jian Wushuang thought. By late noon of the next day, the mountains were still in darkness. Leader Ba Yan, in front it is the periphery of the innumerable huge mountains. We do not need to worry about being the targets of others after we arrive there. Jian Wushuang said. Swordsman, are you sure that you want to adventure alone in the innumerable huge mountains? Ba Yan asked. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded. Could you please extend the deadline of the task of 2 claw-marked Golden Dragon Guard when you return to Golden Dragon Subsidiary Palace? Then when I return next time, I can complete it with the Golden Horn. Haha. No problem. See you next time, Ba Yan said. See you, Jian Wushuang said with a smile. Swordsman, Yamei looked at Jian Wushuang with mixed feelings and did not know what to say next. The innumerable huge mountains were immense. There were old trees aged tens and even hundreds of years around. Overgrown weeds and thorns were everywhere. The black-robed youth with a long sword walked alone in the jungle. He seemed to be relaxed and carefree, but his spiritual power was at the ready constantly. He looked around with vigilance. It has been 2 days. He slowly raised his head. It had been 2 days after he left Baiyan and had walked alone into the innumerable huge mountains. He encountered many spirit beasts and even a few human warriors, but he had not encountered dark silver guards again. Well, the innumerable huge mountains are so immense. What's more, there are just 12 dark silver guard and one of them was killed by me. It is so difficult to find out the rest of the members. After all, they are spread out. Jian Wushuang slightly nodded his head. Suddenly, he noticed a spirit beast crawling hundreds of meters away. Then, he came up with an idea. Since I'm unable to find them, let's see if I can make them come to me instead. Next moment, there was an outburst of spiritual power from Jian Wushuang and it flew directly at the spirit beast which was only at the level of initial gold core realm. A fierce battle broke out within a moment. With Jian Wushuang's strength, it would have been quite easy for him to kill the spirit beast at the level of initial gold core realm. However, this battle lasted a long time. Boom! 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 The booming sound thundered and many trees around the battlefield fell over, some of which were even crushed. The ground was pitted with holes and sword scars, looking like a scene of great devastation. Judging from the battlefield, it seemed like a close battle. They made a huge racket when slaughtering, which gave the impression to people far away that it was a ferocious battle. Of course, all of this was caused by Jian Wushuang deliberately. The reason was quite simple, to attract dark silver guards through the sounds of fighting. The reason why the dark silver guards were here was to kill golden dragon guards. So, they would be attracted where there were battles. If there was a dark silver guard around Jian Wushuang, he would be attracted and immediately reveal himself. Obviously, Jian Wushuang was not very lucky. He deliberately slaughtered with the spirit beast for a long time, but the dark silver guards were not attracted. It happened to attract another 2 spirit beasts and one of them was at the level of profound gold core realm. It seems that the dark silver guards are not around. I'd better move to another place. Jian Wushuang immediately left. After an hour, he appeared in a place tens of meters away and slaughtered with a spirit beast at the level of initial gold core realm again and still made a tremendous sound. In the dense forest. Whoosh! A figure like a ghost rapidly passed the trees and then soon stopped at the top of a big tree. The warrior in silver with a bony face was one of the members of the Dark Silver Guard team. The task has been going on for half a month, but I have only got 16 golden dragon rings, the warrior in silver frowned. It's too few. I have to hurry up and try to gain 50 before the deadline. 16 golden dragon rings meant he had killed 16 golden dragon guards. Suddenly, boom! A deep booming sound was heard at a distance. What? The warrior in silver changed color. The booming sound suggested that there was a slaughter ahead. I hope that there will be golden dragon guards. There was a cold light flashing in his eyes, then he rapidly moved towards the source of the commotion. After a moment, the warrior in silver arrived at the vicinity of the battlefield. He stood behind a tree to observe what was happening in the forest. He noticed that a black-robed youth was slaughtering with a lion spirit beast using a long sword, and that the slaughter was intense. At first, warrior in silver was astonished at this scene. How can a warrior at the level of spiritual C be able to slaughter with a spirit beast at the level of initial gold core realm? But later, he observed that there was a golden ring of heaven and earth in the hand of the black-robed youth. Golden dragon ring. The eyes of the warrior in silver were bright and there was a weird smile on his face. It seems that I'm able to immediately get the 17th golden dragon ring.